Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 GMC Sierra Harley Davidson edition. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to Kunani for giving me the footage of this Harley Davidson GMC. First and foremost, I'm going to include a link to her Instagram in the description down below. Go follow her, and with all that being said, let's get right into the video. So let's go over this Harley Davidson edition GMC Sierra. Pretty crazy stuff. So you guys can see you still get the stock fog lights there at the bottom and the normal GMC C-shaped headlights, but notice the red accenting all over the grille and then the Harley Davidson logo. And then you do have a custom front bumper here with the red tow hooks. They still have parking sensors integrated into it, and then notice the Harley Davidson logo integrated there into the front grille. I think that is pretty cool attention to detail. But yeah, I think it's pretty crazy that they changed out the whole bumper for this truck rather than just keeping the stock one. And you guys will partially understand why they did that. Is, because of the fender flares and everything, so everything's even, then also the aesthetic they're going for. And then you do get a full custom hood as well. You can see it's got the venting there in the center, and overall it just makes the truck look really aggressive, and I think it's just really cool. Now you can see here how the fit and finish with the fender flare to the bumper, how it's all even and in line, and that's a big part of the reason why they changed out the bumper. And then you have the custom Harley Davidson wheels, and it's so interesting to see this on a GMC Sierra because I've reviewed a couple of F-150 Harley Davidsons, but I've never seen it on a Sierra. If you guys are wondering, 22-inch wheels, 35-inch tires wrapped around that. Looks fantastic. Now, this does have Fox shocks. It also has basically a lift from BDS. So what they've done is the Fox shocks, right, are supposed to help make it ride really smooth. And then all the components from BDS, right, to make it ride a little bit higher compared to what you're going to have with a stock truck, and then also help out the ride quality as well. And then you can see the venting here on the side. Again, another Harley Davidson logo. And again, just the coloration I think looks really good, especially with this particular truck that's finished in white. This one's got the bigger trailer mirrors you can get from GMC. And then notice another Harley Davidson logo here on the door. You're going to notice that those Harley Davidson logos are all over the truck. They are literally everywhere. And you guys can all see the side steps kind of peeping down there. And we're going to pop to the interior for just a brief second. We'll mainly go over the interior a little bit later in today's video, but here's kind of a brief glimpse. You can see everything here interior-wise on the truck. And something I want to mention is they don't really build that many of these Harley Davidson trucks. I believe the typical production run is like 250 per year, which is not a whole lot, so it's a pretty unique truck to have. I mean, that is significantly less than what you can get with like Ram TRX, for example, the launch editions. The launch editions, they built over 700, and then that new Ignition edition with the TRX, they're building like, what, 800 or something like that. And so this is a very, very rare truck indeed. And then you guys can see a quick glimpse here with the back. And again, I'll have more shots later in this video where you can see stuff a little bit better. And then again, you've got the power side steps, which you need on a truck like this. With being so tall and so lifted, it's something that is a complete necessity. And then you can see the tire and wheel setup here in the rear is identical to what you have in the front. And I think these wheels look really cool because, again, motorcycle themed. It's really cool to see that in a truck. And then here's a better look here with the suspension and shocks here in the back, so you can see everything that they've done to kind of make this truck, again, sit at the height that it's at. But then also what they were going for was a smooth ride quality, so it still seems comfortable. And then you can see they've got, well, apparently a million Harley Davidson GMC Sierras because they've got them multiple. It's crazy. You know, whenever dealerships have trucks like this, usually they only have one. They don't have multiple like this, so it's pretty crazy to see. And then you can see you still have the integrated bumper step here off to the side, so it adds some practicality. And then you can see the normal GMC taillights right there. And I love how you can see the other Harley Davidson in the reflection. That's pretty cool filming right there. And then you can see the logo here on the back of the bed, absolutely massive. And it looks really cool as well. And then something else this does come with is a exhaust that's custom for it, which lends to it having a really nice sound quality. So I think that's another huge plus of the package. And then here's just some quick close-up shots of the truck, so you can see all of that with the Harley Davidson edition. And then popping here to the interior, you guys can see not a lot's changed in the door panel. Pretty much the same as what you have with the, well, not pretty much, it's the same as what you have with the stock truck, so they didn't really do anything there. But the stock GMC door panel looks really good, so it's not really like they really needed to change all that much. But actually starting to kind of look in the interior, and also you guys can see there on the door seal with the coloration. You guys can see here with the seats, you do have some storage just underneath, so it still has normal truck practicality, so that has not changed one bit. And then also with the Harley Davidson edition, you guys will notice here with the seats themselves, you can see that you've got the, basically it's just the change with the seat covers, so the cushioning and everything's all the same. They just basically pull off the stock seat cover and they put on their own custom seat cover, and so you guys can see that from this shot, and there'll be a few more close-up shots where you can see them a little bit better. So right here, for example, you guys can see the attention to detail with the stitching and the quilted design there in the center with all of the perforations there in the leather, which look fantastic if you ask me. And I really like these seats. I like again the coloration's Harley Davidson themed, which is great, but I think it just really brings up the interior, especially compared to like a stock GMC Sierra. The interiors on those are not necessarily the nicest, and so something like this definitely looks a lot nicer, a lot more premium. And then you still get the seat storage, right? So you can open up the seat, and then you've got that little storage space where you can, put whatever you want. And I guess since this is a motorcycle themed truck, maybe you'll put some motorcycle stuff like your. I don't think you could fit a leather jacket back there. Maybe you could, but something. Sure, you could put something back there. You'll figure it out, right? But moving on from that, we're going to go over the next door panel here. So you guys can see, again, pretty much same as what you have with stocks. Nothing's really changed here with the door panel. But something that's nice is this truck does come with a Bose sound system. You can see the main speaker for that where they put their logo. I've always thought it's interesting they don't put their logo on the speaker in the back seat as well to kind of like, advertise, hey, this is the sound system, it's in the vehicle. It's interesting, most sound system manufacturers don't do that. You'd think they'd want to have their logos like all over, but they can do whatever they want. Notice we got the Harley Davidson plaque right here. This is just next to the front seat. Again, another nice attention to detail on the pedals. Again, have the Harley Davidson logo in it, so that's another neat little detail that you have with the truck, so I think that's pretty nice. And you guys will also see here kind of like the storage space that you've got in that little cubby right there. And interesting, the truck doesn't have the floor mats in it. But anyways, you guys can see all the normal practical truck controls here with the light controls and the drive line select and the drive mode select as well. And then you guys can see the leather all over the dash right there. Got your grab handle, which you'll have to use for sure to get in this truck because it's so lifted. Even though it has the side steps, trust me, you'll still need a little bit of help getting in and out. But you guys can see the steering wheel here. It's the same as what you get with a stock GMC Sierra. They haven't changed anything. Still get the practical truck controls and all that fun stuff. And I like how they did like neutral colors here. And then you guys can see the gauge cluster here also hasn't been changed. So I was reading that they normally changed out the gauge clusters with the Harley Davidson trucks. And I was wondering why they didn't change out the gauge cluster in this. So I'm wondering if it's like a delete or something you can get where you just get like normal stock gauges. Let me know if you guys know about that in the comment section below. But I thought that was interesting because normally it has like, again, the Harley Davidson logos all over. And this obviously didn't. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then you guys can see here with the sun visors. And then here's a look at the seat. So again, Harley Davidson logo on the seat with all the stitching and all that fun stuff right there. Again, looks really good. And something else to mention here with the seats themselves is they are still heated and ventilated. So that's why they've got the perforated leather there, is so you can still have the, especially the ventilated function. You don't need perforated leather for heated seats, but you do need perforated leather for most ventilated seat types. I haven't seen a manufacturer that's been able to do cooled seats without perforated leather. And then you still have the regular infotainment system. Again, this is a 21, and so it's before, right, you've got all the updates for 22, which you still could get the screen in 22 because they have that limited version for 22 that's still going to have the older system. Wireless phone charger as well. And then you guys can see the cup holders down here in this area, and little storage space in between the cup holders, which I've always kind of wondered what that was for, if it's for a phone or, because I don't know, it's interesting how it's shaped. But you guys can see dual zone climate, got the controls for the heated, cooled seats, all that fun stuff. But the whole dash area is the same as stock, so they didn't change anything. So that all looks the same, and so something that they don't really touch here with the Harley Davidson edition, which is interesting because that's what you're going to look at most of the time as a driver. And then I wanted to show you guys the center console here because it's got a really cool emblem on it. You guys can see again the Harley Davidson emblem. I think that just looks fantastic with the stitching and all that. And again, it's just cool attention to detail. So I definitely think that's a nice touch right there. And then again, you guys can see the stitching all matches with the seats and with the center console and everything. They've just made sure everything's all comes together. And then storage space in the center console. You guys know with these new Sierras is great. And then, you know, finishing things up top, we do have a sunroof with the truck, just a regular sunroof, not a panoramic. You can't get a panoramic with the GMC Sierras for the 21s. And so you guys can see the controls right there for that and the universal garage door openers. And then the last thing is a couple of pictures of the seats. You guys can see those in a little bit better detail, but that's all.